This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Hello, my name is Harriton Watko. Welcome to our program. In a week's time, we will be seeing news changes. The headlines will change from, well, of course, federalism has been pushed to the side. And hopefully no one will listen. Well, no one's listening anymore to Trililing, but he holds 2 press conferences a day, and you've got the main media who are hungry for anything, not necessarily to sell their wares, but anything, I guess, to destabilize the president. This morning, I decided to finally write The Economist because I always subscribe to it. I've been subscribing to them for the last 6 to 8 years. And it just hits me, finally, that The Economist, no matter what you do, are against our president. So I finally wrote them, and more or less, these are the 3 sentences I said. You must be against democracies from all over the world, in spite of what you seem to preach. You are against the populist presidents who have the majority of the votes of the people. Example, Duterte, who enjoys not only the overwhelming vote, a mandate, but the continuous survey reports that are above any and all presidents in the history of democratic elections. And yet, you seem to want to believe, promote, without vetting, information you receive, obviously, from the opposition of who themselves call themselves a democracy, a failed and fake democracy, i.e., it's not pun intended, it's directly to the Liberal Party. Now, with the coming elections and the registration in about a week to 10 days, hopefully by May, the Liberal Party will finally realize the total rejection of the people. The final nail into the coffin that will close the Liberal Party forever. However, it sort of, I can't seem to understand the surveys with the 5 women topping it. Well, number 1, no action, all talk, fake news, and poor arithmetic, if not only the Vice President, Grace Poe. Of course, Cynthia Villar, who works, so check. Cayetano, that. I don't know if I should put a question mark after that. And 2 more women. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't seem to understand the penchant for traditional politicians who have failed the country. If we didn't have a strong president today, the very same Senate and Congress have all failed, simply because the status quo continues. Worse, they seem to be climbing out of the grave for those who have been rejected, acting as if they are still important, criticizing the president. Probably the only president we've had since time immemorial, actually, since Quezon, since the birth of this republic, who's actually done what is correct, regardless of what the know-it-alls like The Economist talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, in this program, the topic is called the KDP, or Katipunan Demokratikong Pilipino. Now, here's a political party that has been born simply out of necessity, requirement, and demand. It is not about the populist regimes that the economist talks about. It is not about, it's not about necessarily new ideas, but the ability to act on ideas that have been promoted by many, many in the past. We have Buth Valdes, who's chairman of the KDP, who's been with us many times. And wherein every Monday of the month, I dedicate the show to Save the Nation, of which he himself founded, who is also the chair, if I'm not mistaken, Butch, on the LaRouche, Philippines, who was also a host right here on GNN. And we have KRJ, if you don't know who he is, but he's been a guest many times here on GNN, Rodolfo Javellana, JR, but prefers to be called KRJ, the United Filipino Consumers and Consumers. And commuters, so traffic and consuming. But
Yes.
what is new? I know this week, okay, let me show this to you. It's declare state of emergency on the power sector. Now, this has been put up on social media just in the last week or two. And it's very interesting because if it's one thing we are all screaming about, it's kill the IPIRA, ideally. Pero not too far off is Nawasa in the water, who's beginning to harass the consumers. Can you maybe can expound on this, Butch?
Well, our KDP, Katipunan Demokratikong Pilipino, will not wait for so-called election period and so on and so forth. No? Because as KDP, we're already addressing three major issues. Right? First,
Dengvaksya.
the Dengvaksya.
Yes.
And then we've got the electoral fraud, conspiracy of Comelec and Smartmatic.
Yes, Smartmatic. Alam mo, kailangan wag sila kasala sa election nito.
Right.
Pero ewan ko bakit pinipilit ng Comelec. So, Comelec is part of the conspiracy. Yes.
That's right. And then the onerous and immoral EPIRA law, no, which has now created a situation of us paying the most expensive electricity rates in the world. No?
Di ba kay Enrile yan? He was the one who spearheaded IPIRA.
Ang
Sino
tunay
bang-
na nagtulak nito is Fidel Ramos. No? Pero this is upon the
But he was president sa Senado at saka sa Congress.
Yeah.
Talaga si Ramos.
Yung mga iba na sa Congress, siyempre, tinulak ng presidente. No?
Priority
Pero
niya.
ang nag-advise sa kanya nito, ngayon nalalaman na namin, yung unang mga nag-advise kay Corazon Aquino na ekonomista,
Naku, si Jokno.
si Ben Jokno, no? Yung unang nagtulak ng VAT, si Jokno. Yung unang nagtulak ng EPIRA, sila Jokno.
So we have a new title for him, Mr. Taxman. Okay, go ahead.
Right. Now, we are paying, on going back to this, we have to let the people know, no, the situation about the electricity rates, because it is the biggest burden in any household income right now.
Tama yun.
Alam nyo, the Filipino is paying 23 US cents per kilowatt hour. The Americans in the US, they pay 12 US cents
Kalahati
per
na.
kilowatt hour. Not only that, the income of the US household, no, ang electricity rates is 5% or less in terms of the income of the. In the Philippines, it's 20 to 25%
I agree
of
with
the
that.
household income. Okay. Nakikita nyo, it's so. Does that mean mas mahal ba tayong gumawa ng kuryente dito kaysa sa kanila? Hindi. Pareho lang natin ang cost natin. Siguro, mas mura pa nga tayo. Eh bakit ang taas-taas? Kasi sa EPIRA law. When government, Fidel Ramos and succeeding presidents...
Take and pay, di ba? Just buy everything that comes out.
Exactly.
Guarantee ng income ng mga power
Binigay
producer.
yung buong power sector sa privado sector, sa private, sa mga oligarchy,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Binigay niya to, no? At sinabi sa kanila, kayo nang mamahala sa generation, transmission, at distribution ng kuryente. Tapos, hindi lang yun ang masama sa EPIRA. Yung EPIRA, pinagbabawalan pa ang gobyerno pumasok kasi pag pumasok ang gobyerno, proprotektahan niya yung mga mamayan, right? But pinagbabawalan ng EPIRA law. Why? Because yung mga oligarchos sabi na, wait, that is unfair competition. No? So sige lang, taas ng taas ang halaga ng ating binabayaran. No? So this is immoral and onerous, that law that has been passed. The reason it was passed, because ang laking perang pumasok sa lobby money niyan. No? But now, we are in a crisis. We are in an inflationary crisis, and it is not true that prices are going to go down just because you import fish and rice.
Vegetables, yes, and rice.
We're saying to the President, if you really want to help the people, if you really want to contain inflation, no, you must declare a state of emergency on the power sector. Suspend the implementation of the EPIRA law and grant 50% discount on all electricity bills of all the consumers. When you grant that 50%, does that mean that the oligarchy will go poor? No. They will still be earning more than 150% return on their investments.
RJ, paano ka napasali ngayon dito? You are a freedom fighter. You protect the consumers, the commuters, and you've been, well, so to say, a street fighter. You've been non-stop on this, and now you're going to join the KDP. Well, if not, you're side-by-side with Buth Valdes. Roger.
Sir, una sa lahat, gusto ko magpasalamat sa inyo. At bata pa ako, naririnig ko na yung inyong
Matanda na ako. Matanda na ako. But go ahead. Thank you very much. It's a compliment.
Kayo po'y inspirasyon. Ito po'y galing sa aking puso. Tulad po nung pagsilang ng KDP, nakita ko po na sa unang pagkakataon mayroong partido na titignan ang taong bayan, lalong-lalo na po yung mga ordinaryong tao, na isang partido na hindi politika ang nasa unahan, kung hindi yung interes ng mga maliliit natin, lalong-lalo na yung mga marginalized. At ang pagsilang ng partido na ito ay napaka-importante sa panahon ngayon, sapagkat hindi lang niya ginising yung mga unang ipinaglaban nila Andres Bonifacio, nila Dr. Jose Rizal, at maraming mga bayani at maraming mga tao. Ito'y pagpapatuloy ng bagong katipunan. Bagong katipunan sa larangan ng pagpapahayag ng kanyang mga tindig. Doon sa mga nabanggit ni Sir Buth, ni Professor Buth Valdes, na tatlong pangunahing isinusulong ng KDP. Una dyan, yung sa kalusugan, sa issue ng Dembaksya, yung sa issue po ng reforma ng eleksyon o yung Smartmatic, at yung ikatlo, yung mga pampublikong pasilidad. Ito po yung kuryente, tubig. So, yung aming organisasyon po, yung United Filipino Consumers and Commuters, isinilang po kami dahil sa mga katulad ng mga aspirasyon na yan, na maraming mga mamimili, maraming mga mananakay na dumadanas ng hindi magandang kalagayan. Halimbawa po, yung sobrang taas ng singil sa kuryente. Ngayong araw na ito, October 1, ay nagpatupad po ang MWSS ng dagdag na singil sa tubig.
Correct.
At ngayong October 16 naman ay susunod naman yung isang concessionaire, yung Maynila and Manila Water. 6 na piso, 5 piso, katumbas ng mga 200 bilyong piso na kukolektahin ng mga oligarko. Punta tayo sa halalan. Kanina nabanggit nyo na medyo ang mga pinipili ng mga tao ngayon, o yung laging naririnig sa mga telebisyon, ang malaking tanong naman dyan, sino ba ang mga nasa likod ng mga taong ito? Kumakandidato ba sila para pagsilbihan talaga ang ating mga mamamayan o ang gobyerno? O baka meron silang mga interes na nais isulong? Hindi ko katulad ng KDP, wala ho siyang interes na gustong isulong maliban sa isa, kung hindi yung interest ng mamamayang Pilipino para sa lahat. Ano po? At wala siyang papanigan na malakas o mahina kung hindi yung bandila lang ng Pilipinas. At yan yung totoong katipunan. Yun po yung para sa mga kabataan na nauhaw ano po, sa pagbabago, dun sa tunay na pagbabago, may kasagutan ngayong paparating na 2019. At yun ay malaking ano po.
What drives you, ka-RJ? Si Butch, ito mayaman na ito, bata pa ito eh. Lumaki ito mayaman eh. And he got involved with LaRouche about 15, 20 years ago. And he's been following the theology, so to speak, almost, of what they stand for universally. Not necessarily just the Philippines, but the worldwide conspiracy. What drives you, RJ? Why do you want to help the people? Yan ang mga magagandang question na diretso na tinatanong sa mga debates. Why you? Yan. What drove you? I remember Dante Jimenez, because we gave him a show in GNN. And what drove Dante was his brother's death, untimely death. Di ba, namatay yung kapatid niya. Doon bumaliktad si Dante. Yeah, mayaman din yan. They own a big university sa Bicol. Well-to-do na yan, komportable na. Lumaban na yan. You know, lumaban na. Until today, not giving up. He does not care.
Ako po,
Kayo po.
masasabi ko wala naman po akong maaring ipagmalaki in terms ng material na bagay. Pero pagdating po sa mga karanasan, sa mga pangyayari sa mga kalsada, mga pangyayari sa mga komunidad, ako po'y ordinaryong tao lang. Hindi ko masabi na ako'y isang malaking negosyante o maliit na negosyante. Ako'y ordinaryong Pilipino na namumblema sa pagbabayad ng Meralco, namumblema sa pagbabayad ng...
Hindi lang ikaw.
Ganun po, no? Ang background ko po kasi ako'y naging Student Council President sa Lyceum of the Philippines.
So bata ka pa, you're already active.
Opo. At ako'y
buhay mo
napili.
talaga.
At ako'y napili bilang isa sa 10 outstanding student leaders of the Philippines. Kasabay ko po yung malalaking mga paaralan o universidad. Ako'y Lyceum of the Philippines. Kung nakasabay mo yung Ateneo, nakasabay mo yung UP.
I'm very familiar with
Sa isang daang mga nakapila, medyo iba ang pakiramdam mo. Pero ako'y naging ako lang. Tinuloy ko yun. At doon po sa competition na yun, pinalad naman ako na pasok sa 10. At doon sa 10, naging number 1 po ako.
Wow, congrats.
So, ang importante po, maging totoo lang tayo. Tulad ng nangyayari sa bayan natin, ano po ba yung katotohanan? Ang katotohanan po ay laganap ang kahirapan. Ang katotohanan po ay hirap ang taong bayan dito sa excise tax ng Train 1. Ano po? Ang katotohanan po, hirap ang taong bayan dito sa 12% value-added tax. No? Yan yung mga ilang solusyon na kung gusto ng economic managers natin, pwede nilang tignan. Ano? Yung katotohanan na dapat maintindihan nila yung tunay na boses ng mga Pilipino. Hindi ka kinakailangan pumunta sa malalayong lugar para maunawaan ito. Ang problema lang, hindi po ito ang prioridad ng karamihang nauupo sa gobyerno. Ang kanila ay, ang posisyon sa gobyerno ay para makaimpluwensya doon sa partikular na interes na kanilang sinusulong. At marami dyan, interes nga ng mga oligarko. Interes halimbawa ng mga malalaking kumpanya na ito, na kapag naupo, wala silang pakialam kahit bumagsak si Pangulong Duterte. Basta ang pakialam nila ay magtuloy yung kanilang mga negosyo na ito. Yun lang yung kanilang pinoproteksyonan. Maliit pa ako, yun na yung ating nakita. Nakita ko rin po yung ilang pagkakaiba dahil ako'y pinanganak ng 1968. Naabutan ko yung martial law. So nakita ko yung mga kadiwa, nakita ko yung mga ilang mga proyekto, nakita ko yung pagbagsak ng administrasyong Marcos, pumasok si Aquino, yung pagsilang ng mga liberalization, deregulation policy, etc. Pumasok si Fidel Ramos, pinatupad yung mga polisiya na yan. Hanggang ngayon, ilang taon na tayo, ilang dekada na yung mga polisiya na yan nagpapatuloy. Kaya yun nga po yung challenge ng Katipunan ng Demokratikong Pilipino sa ating Pangulong Duterte. Ako po sa UFCC, Nung Sabado lang, tinanong ko po ang mga kasamahan ko, binanggit ko po sa kanila na maaari ba, mahal na Pangulong Duterte, na magdeklara ka ng state of emergency kahit sa usapin lang na elektrisidad para makatulong sa problema ng inflasyon. Yun lamang.
Okay. We're gonna have to take a short break, ladies and gentlemen. The Beatles came up with a very, very popular song, which today we still sing, and maybe soon everyone in the streets will. This is dedicated to Ben Jokno. We'll be right back.